Hello, everybody. Welcome to a fresh, brand new episode of the Freedom Mastery podcast. This episode will be extremely special, and I know I very often say that because, in a way, every episode is very special to me. However, today I will be focusing on a subject which is well known for other people. Some people don't know it very well. However, it's extremely important, and there is a reason why I do this today, why I did this week. Today we're going to be talking about building a brand in rent-to-rent business and why it's important and how to do it. But in the first place, I want to tell you what actually inspired me to do this special episode for me today, because I am happy to announce and I'm happy to share with you guys, if you don't know it yet, that the Freedom Mastery, which is obviously my own company, my own mentoring and coaching program, is now award-winning business. For the first time, we've managed to win a global award for unique mentorship approach and recognized achievements in industry impact. That means a lot to us because it just shows that we're doing a great job in the industry, that we have the right plan for the progress, and this is part of our brand. This is what we want to do. We continuously want to improve whilst making sure that our customer service and the support for our clients and for our students is extremely world class. That's why we've been awarded. Very, very proud of it. And I'm also very grateful that we had this opportunity to be shortlisted and to win those awards. So I've been extremely pleased with it. That's what inspired me to do this episode and to help you with growing your own brand and really understanding what brand actually is. So let me go back and explain in the first place what brand actually stands for. And I'm not going to go into very complex definitions about what brand actually is. To me, brand is simply a perception. It's a perception, and it could be deemed in two ways. First way is our internal brand. Internal brand is how we perceive ourselves. And then we've got external brand, which is how others perceive us in the marketplace if it's associated with a business. And today's episode will be focused mainly about the external brand. So this is what people see, how they feel about us, how they associate us with regards to their feelings, emotions, whatever that is. You could also call it, in a way, a reputation. And first of all, I want to explain why it's actually important, because I know for some people it is kind of important. They want to build the brand. But for some people, it's kind of like, nah, I don't need to do it because there's not going to be any benefit coming from this. Like, it's good for kids, for example. Bear in mind that we live in 21st century, where these days adverts and commercials in the TV or in radio are not as effective, because right now we've got an era of social media, and this is where a lot of advertising, a lot of eyeballs actually is. So if you really want to grow your business, the fastest and the best way to do it is through social media. When I say brand, you can elaborate that in different ways, but social media plays a big role in that. And I'm going to go into it in a second, but let's dive into why it's actually important in the first place. So, as I said, you could also name it as our reputation. So our reputation speaks volumes for existing and new clients. So if we want to retain business with our existing clients, then they need to know that they work with experts, with market leaders. And branding will definitely help you achieve that, because this is your reputation. If they know that you're good in your industry, they will naturally stay with you for longer, meaning that there will be a repeated business coming from your old clients. It also creates the know, like, and trust with the new clients, of course. Because if you're a new client, what you're going to be looking these days will be reviews, will be the social media content, will be the website. These are all like elements of that perception that you build through your brand. Let me go back to something, because I didn't mention before that when also people say brand, they also associate that with big brands like, for example, Coca-Cola, Rolls-Royce, or Ryanair, for example. These are big brands, well known. And of course, yes, these are well known. However, you don't have to build brand based on your company name or logo because that's going to be extremely hard, especially for new startups to create a brand. Instead of creating brand around your logo or company, build a brand around your face. And in rent to rent, this is essentially what you need to do. The company name is just for the legal stuff, for your accountant. You don't need your business name to be promoted. You want your face to be promoted. You want to speak volumes when it comes to you as a person. Because at the end of the day, remember that people do business with other people. So when you show up at the estate agents, at the landlords, at the viewing, they won't associate you with your logo. They won't associate you with your business card. They will associate you with your face and how you speak, how you present yourself. Okay, that's your personal brand, and that's a massive difference, especially for new businesses. You need to create a personal brand. That's very important to remember. Let me go back to why it's actually important, okay? So, as I mentioned before, it's our reputation for our existing, but also to new clients. It also eliminates that lack of trust to the company and to you. Because when somebody comes across you for the first time and they don't know you, they naturally will have that resistance to do business with you because they simply don't know you. If they are about to give somebody their property, or if they are about to live at that property, they first of all need to make sure that they deal with the right person. And that is extremely important. So you want to lower that resistance, and your personal brand will do exactly that thing for you. So when you speak to those people, when you want to do business with them, it will actually become much, much easier, and the resistance level will be much lower. Also, making new business becomes easier because when that resistance level is lower, then you don't have to spend hours and hours and emails on objections. They might have one or two objections, or they might just ask a few random questions, but they already made their mind that they want to work with you, they want to be with you, whether they'll be about living in your property, staying in your property, or maybe they want to give you their property. Your personal brand has already done a lot of work for you. And the consequence of having a good personal brand is very, very simple. Three things here. Number one, more business. Number two, more revenue. And then lastly, number three, more success. If you want to have more business, more revenue, and more success, then guess what you have to do? Ding, ding, ding. Absolutely. You're right. You need to create your own personal brand, or if you're working on it, continuously enhance your personal brand. Hey there, I'm getting inquiries from people asking for help with their rent-to-rent business in order to start or grow it to 6 figures in profit. The best way to get hold of me is to text me on 075 22 571 026. That's 075 22 571 026. I will get back to you as soon as I can, and I'll help you with whatever you need. Now let's get back to the video. Now you might be thinking, you'll never build a personal brand for yourself, and it's so hard. I'll never become this big. First of all, who said that you need to be extremely big? How many people need to know about you? Do you need to be like Coca-Cola when the whole globe recognizes you? Or do you need to have just a certain number of letting agents, landlords, and local people who know who you are? There's a massive difference. However, you don't have to think about the end result already, because brand is something that you build over time. Every little step, every little day, you create your personal brand. And if you don't do it, and you're running a business or you intend to run a business, then guess what? If you don't do nothing, it's still about creating your brand. You're still creating your brand whether you like it or not. It's just when you're silent about yourself, when there is nothing happening, when you're not working on it, you just create a poor brand, but it's still a brand. So if you intend to go in a business, whether you like it or not, whether you're introvert or extrovert, for introverts it will be definitely harder than for extroverts. However, you need to take this into account, that you need to start building your personal brand. Otherwise, your brand will mean nothing. People will not trust you, and doing business with you will be hard. It will be hard for you because you won't even believe in your brand. What about the others? They will completely not be willing to do business with you. So it's going to be extremely hard to start and grow your business. And let me talk for a second about fancy websites. about business cards, because a lot of people associate branding with those materialistic elements, right? So things that are tangible, things that other people can see. Whether you should you do it? Maybe you're asking this question: should you do it? My answer to you is it depends where you are in your business. If you're just starting your business, then 100% you don't need it, depending on your niche. But when I talk about rent to rent, you don't need a website. You don't need business cards. And why, you might be wondering? I need to be this professional guy perceived in a very good way. My advice to you is simple: use that time on finding deals and creating good connections rather than creating something that I call like a false branding elements. You don't need to create a false brand because people want to do business with you. They want to trust you. And the only way you will build business is through creating good relationships, good connections. So don't focus your efforts on something that does not matter, because in most cases, website will not help you in growing your rent-to-rent business. What will help you, however, is to create fantastic relationships with people. So where to go right now? What to do next? You might be wondering. And don't worry, I've got your back. I'll cover that right now. First of all, I would like you to destroy your old belief that you're not worth creating a brand, that you have nothing that would be worth creating, building, and you have nothing associating with a positive brand, maybe. You just think that you're too small for that. In all fairness, tell this little voice to shut up and instead replace it with new belief that every day you will do something little to become well branded. Okay? Let's have this deal in the first place. Second of all, I want you to change your relationship with social media. If you're okay with social media right now and you're using it every day, fair enough, that's fine. However, I'm not talking about using social media to scroll. I'm talking about creating content with social media. If you don't like doing this, if you think social media is a scam, if you've got all of those bad associations with social media, you also need to change your relationship with social media. Because whether you like it or not, we live in times where social media is like dominating everything else. So creating a brand within social media is like essential element for your business, for your personal brand, for your growth. And I know you don't need to know anything about that. That's absolutely fine. You don't have to be familiar with Facebook or with Instagram or with LinkedIn. Doesn't matter. Pick one platform to begin with and find somebody who's already doing something on that platform. If you pick, for example, Facebook, now speak to somebody who knows Facebook quite well and ask them to give you a bit of guidance. What's possible? How to do this? How to do that? And just step by step every day, try to do something, maybe even like a little thing on this platform. Also, on top of that, I want you to create like a weekly plan for your content. Okay, so let's say you're starting, you're completely not existent on social media. Maybe your profile is completely frozen. You haven't done anything for 6 months. Doesn't matter. I don't want you to go out and start posting like 3 times a day, because that will be too much. Slowly and gradually, bit by bit, maybe you're going to start with 1 or 2 posts a week. Then you're going to increase that in the next week to 3 to 4 posts. And then you will eventually come to a culture and that standard where you're going to be posting something maybe every day, maybe every 2 days, depending on how well you want to grow your brand. But also make sure that you're going to be creating content that's versatile. So what I mean by that is you're not going to be just focusing on, for example, creating posts. You will also be creating stories. You'll be focusing on creating reels, maybe carousels. I think some people still love carousels. But if you make your content provided in different formats, then you will be reaching different people. Reels are very good to reach new audience. From Reels, you can get new followers. From Reels, you can get a lot more people associated with your brand. But then how you create relationship with those people is actually story and post, and maybe carousel as well. And that's how you're going to be building this long lasting relationship with people who really started following you on your social media. And when you master this one platform, then try to go to the other platform and then create content for the other platform as well. Maybe you can use the same content and just share it throughout two different platforms. Also, create your Trustpilot profile and begin to collect reviews from tenants, agents, and landlords who already work with you. So we also live in times where nowadays, before somebody buys something, people go and read their reviews. And Trustpilot is, if not the most popular, it's probably one of the most popular websites that people use to build this credibility around their business, right? So yes, Trustpilot is absolutely amazing to build a brand through reviews. So if you haven't got an account on Trustpilot for your business or your upcoming business, then I suggest create your business account, and then whoever interacts with your business, one way, shape or form, doesn't matter, ask them to give you a review. Send them a link so they can go and then they can review that on your website, on your Trustpilot website. And then what you can do is obviously you can showcase that to future clients, to future tenants, to future landlords, and you can show that you're a genuine business with some reviews behind you. Because when you have reviews, guess what's going to happen? Your credibility starts growing straight away, and people will naturally believe that your business is already established. It's running, generating positive reviews. So massive step forward for you. On top of all of those tips, one final tip I want to give you is something about networking. Because a lot of people say you need to go to networking events. This is how you're going to build your brand. You're going to have the opportunity to meet a lot of people. And I agree with all of this to a certain extent. However, I've got my opinion about networking events. And if you don't mind, I'm going to share that with you right now. Because I went to a lot of networking events, and it was great to meet people in the industry, to exchange contacts. It was great to build a list of followers on Instagram or on Facebook, and to follow other people's journey. Sometimes it was also great to ask a question. If somebody was an expert in different field that I'm not an expert, I could ask them a question. However, people say that a lot of business can be generated through networking events. Some people do, some people don't. However, I think if your brand is not well established, instead of going to networking events, again, my opinion is that you need to go out and meet people to create those relationships within your industry. So it would be great to connect with another letting agent. It would be great to connect with another landlord. It would be great to book another viewing. When you did those things, then you will very quickly create a business of your dreams. This will allow you to travel more. This will allow you to quit your job perhaps. Whatever your goal is, you'll get there quicker by introducing yourself as somebody who's looking to do business. Networking events are great to meet people, but I find it in rent to rent very competitive, very challenging sometimes. So I would say the time that you would use on networking events, I would utilize on building your business up. That's what I would advise when it comes to networking events. Just to wrap up, I want to tell you that I'm challenging you. I dare you to be proud of your own identity, to be proud of your own business, to be proud of your own personal brand. Because if you think that you're not building a brand, then it's wrong. I'm telling you that you are creating a poor brand, so start creating a good brand. Otherwise, if you don't, then you're already sabotaging your own business. And you're kind of like condemning your business to be a failure anyway. So focus on creating a personal brand. Don't be afraid to show your face, and I guarantee that more business will come your way, and it will be easier for you to create this business in your life. And one last thing, if you believe that staying an introvert is actually quite cool, if you're this cool guy who's like introvert, then you'll finally realize that a lot of introverts are actually broke. So whether you want to stay broke and you want to, so whether you want to stay broke, but you still want to stay introvert, that's absolutely up to you. But if you want to make a great progress, become a new type of yourself, try to push yourself towards being an extrovert, build that personal brand, be vocal about your business, be proud about it, and trust me, your rent-to-rent business will grow and flourish every single day. And until next time, guys, I love the fact that you're listening to this podcast, that you're watching this podcast. If you like it, please share it with people. If you're watching this on YouTube, also subscribe to it and help me to grow my channel so other people can also reach to me and I have the opportunity to invite more and more high-profile individuals within property industry. Until next time, signing out. Peace and love.